Okay, guys, so this is the last day of our event, Ignite the Spark, and this is the eighth day. And for your, like today, we have invited to our guest speaker. One is Dauda, and another one is Himanshu. So the first session will be on introduction to artificial intelligence, and it will be taken by Dauda. So let me give a short description about Dauda. So he is a software developer, and he is so passionate for to create products, and he is now changing his life within your like with his soft and technical skills, and he is a very good influencer in his community. And now he's like providing some workshops and platform for coders and non-coders to think beyond the limit. So welcome, Dauda. So now it's over to you.
Amazing. That was super impressive introduction. I don't know whether I fit into all, but I'm hoping that I truly inspire a lot of people across the globe. But let me first say a big thank you to you for making it possible. All of you on the team, you really inspire, because you know what? People really don't owe us anything, right? But we owe them a huge amount of our time. That is to make sure that they are getting inspired by the things happening around the world. And as at this point, we are actually facing a global crisis, right? But because of what you are doing, it is helping to shape how a lot of people would think after the COVID-19. So you are having impact on these people, and I'm really excited to be here. And to the audience out there, how is COVID-19? Um, so I'll check in the chats. I won't no, I think I won't multitask. So I'll just share my screen from here. Okay. So you confirm to me if you can see my screen, then I'll just proceed. Okay. Okay. So let me click on PowerPoint. Let me browse one of my PowerPoint presentations and I would upload. So please go ahead in the chat. Make sure you introduce yourself. Tell us where you're coming from, and how excited are you about artificial intelligence? What do you know about Airthor? What are some of the words that you hear people mentioning? And do you think you can also fit into the picture or not? So just let me know what you think. Okay. So let me join in my phone, on my phone as well, so that we will be able to have good interactions. Okay. So confirm to me if you can see my screen from the from YouTube, so that we get started. Okay, so I think I can confirm that I can see my screen, and then on YouTube too, you can see my screen, hopefully. Yeah, so today we are gathered around to talk about a very important subject, right? And the subject, okay, so it's still loading, no problem. So the subject is actually artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, which is also known as AI, um, is quite popular, and a lot of people know how it is going to change our world, right? Because essentially, we have been educated by Microsoft student partners across the globe, MVPs, and Microsoft employees. I mean, and that's ecosystem, people are really doing a lot to change how the future would be. Okay, so you might know of Elon Musk, right? A lot of you in the chat, if you've heard of Elon Musk before, right? So Elon Musk is an influential guy. I really get inspired by his journey. Few days ago, I listened to him and he said, a huge amount of things that really got me inspired. But today we are not going to be talking about how inspirational Elon Musk is. We are going to be talking about some of the things that he actually said that I think you might agree or disagree, right? So Elon Musk said that AI will take over the world in 2040. Okay. So if you saw 2020 here, that was a flash. Elon Musk actually said AI will be taking over the world in the year 2040. Okay. So when Elon Musk said AI will be taking over the world 2040, what exactly does Elon Musk want to tell us, right? I think he has probably figured out that AI might be doing something extraordinary that human beings cannot do them, right? I think that is the reason why Elon Musk would say that AI will be taking over the world. Now, Elon Musk's company is building a huge amount of innovation, right? They're building something called self-driving car, right? And they've built this car, and when you sit in the self-driving car, you do not have to touch the steer. Like you just have to sit there, and then the car will drive you to your preferred destination. So you just key in that, hey, I'm moving from the United Kingdom, I don't know, to the United States, maybe something like that. And then you would have AI, routing you to that particular destination. I listened to one of the things that they are thinking they can implement, and one of it also says that, aside just implementing the self-driving car, he wants to be able to, I think by now the car is doing all those, functionalities. Now he said he wants a person to be able to, say that I'm going from here, destination A to B, and in the middle, the person should be able to say, hey, no, change, the destination for me, right? Now the exciting thing is that, what do you think these self-driving cars, how do you think they are going to impact on our life? I think when I think about how this self-driving car, when human beings will just have to sit into it, and then it takes them to their destination. Now, the positive aspect of it is that um, Elon Musk mentioned that it will mean that people would be able to buy cars, and when they buy a car, then they would not search for an Uber driver, right? They will just tell the car, drive me to my home, and if the car drives me to my home, it tells the car, okay, now go and then work for me, right? So the car searches, goes around, and then will be able to, do the Uber services without a driver sitting in it, and then the car would be able to know when exactly to come back to its owner, right? Because the owner can still control how the car behaves, right? So this is exciting because it is going to make the world a better place. It is going to shape how people actually think about how we do things needs to be changed, right? I think with machines having the ability to be able to do all this, we human beings would also need to empower ourselves to do something more productive. That is what it means. Now, the good thing is that if you've heard of artificial intelligence, then you've probably also heard of machine learning. Now, let's think about what exactly artificial intelligence would be, right? In this case, I think that AI is simply giving machines, the behaviors of human, right? As trying to give machines to be able to behave like human beings. So if human beings can see, then machines should be also, be able to see, right? If human beings, can make analysis, then machines should be able to make analysis. But our traditional software that we write as software developers, our traditional softwares would not be able to, behave like humans, right? They'll be able to make computational, powers and all those stuff, but they'll not be able to behave just like, how humans are behaving. So if, a machine is able to mimic the human behavior, then that is termed as artificial intelligence. If you've heard of artificial intelligence, you've probably heard of machine learning. And if you've heard of machine learning, you've heard of deep learning. Now, machine learning is focused on getting machines to be able to make, decisions based on data, right? So, and machine learning falls under the subset of what is termed as AI, right? So AI and machine learning are not equal. I'll give you some, examples as we go ahead, okay? And we have deep learning. Deep learning, on the other hand, also uses neural network to make, complex, decision, right? It use the neural network to, make a complex decision. And in that case, we would be able to remember that we as human, the only reason why we are smart enough is because we have some abilities. And this is where I like to talk about this particular examples that I use in the global AI community. So we notice that AI has, some sort of capabilities. And if you think about the capabilities that AI also, has, it goes way back to determine how we human beings, started, right? Because human beings, as smart as we are today, you would recall that we spent over 1 year or 2 years trying to, walk, right? We tried to speak and we tried to learn the people around us. My nephew here calls me Awu instead of Daoud because she can't essentially call me well. She's just, a little, kid, like 1 year plus old, right? So she spent her life thinking about how exactly she will be able to, talk like we humans do, right? And she makes a lot of mistakes, right? And we pardon the mistakes of, um, you know, little infants because they don't know what exactly they are doing. And this is how similar when we talk about artificial intelligence or training machines to behave like human beings, it goes like because you actually have to feed this machine with a lot of information. So our little kids at home probably are gathering information either by hearing what people are saying, right? So when they hear someone, mentioning your name, they carefully, listen to it several times. They probably might have heard it like, 6 months, 3 months, and then finally they try to pronounce it, right? Now, when they try to pronounce this, they don't fear of making mistakes, right? And this is what, human beings are made of. So from our infants, we've fallen several times, we've made several mistakes, but all those mistakes have accumulated to experiences that we have, isn't it? So on the other hand, if you think about AI is also able to make decisions and be smart enough because of the data that is fed into it, not softwares that are written, right? So we human beings are able to hear, we are able to see, and we are able to process or analyze all the things that we hear, isn't it? Now, when it comes to you know um, machines, they should also be able to see. And how would a machine be able to see something? Is by using the camera of a device to be able to vision something, right? Also, if you think about how machines are able to hear, is because they probably have microphones built into them, so they are able to also make hear what people are saying, translate that into text. Now, this is one of the functionalities of AI as well. It's able to take sounds and it's able to convert it into textual approach. Now, I'm just going to do something really quick for you to see here on my screen. I don't know whether that would be shared as well, but see here. I'm just going to click here and I'll click on turn on live captions. Okay, this is right in Teams, right? But it's happening. So I will talk, and whilst I talk, you'll realize that it is converting whatever I'm saying and it's displaying it on the screen. Yeah, I'm sure you will see it in a bit on YouTube. All right. So this is how AI is being empowered because you talk and then AI is able to take what you are talking about and then convert it into text, right? Now, this text can further be analyzed to make decisions as to whether you are making sense or you're not making sense, as to whether you're excited or you are not excited, right? So these are some of the things that goes on within artificial intelligence. I'm sure that is displayed on the screen, right? The text to speech approach that is happening right here on Teams. Okay, so I'll be monitoring the YouTube to see whether that particular is happening. But right now, whatever I'm saying is being, captioned and is being translated into text. So this is how machines are able to use, sounds to be able to talk. Now, this little baby here was a kid, right? He grew up from day one looking and staring at the mom. A kid can stare at you for about 5 minutes as if the kid is insane, right? And he can stare at you and all of a sudden begin to smile, right? And when you frown at a kid, he's able to, determine, make analysis, and make informed decisions that, okay, this guy, is scary, right? And then, frowns back at you. So even when a kid is smiling, he reverts back and then, stops smiling, isn't it? These are some of the things that we monitor, kids being able to do, and then they are actually adorable, right? Again, this was how we came into being. We came into, existence with our head being just like the picture you see here today, right? Our brains were not that sharp. Our brains lacked some sort of information. We weren't able to gather a lot of things. We weren't able to see. We weren't able to hear. When people are talking, we can't even, understand what exactly they are trying to tell us, right? And when we talk, everyone thinks we are insane. This is how we grew up. We grew up with empty-headed. I'll put it that way, okay? But with time, our brain, was filled up with information, and this information help us to make informed decision. So we have artificial and we have intelligence. So artificial are things that are not made by God, right? Are made by humans. But intelligence, on the other hand, is the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills, right? So if things which are made by human have the ability to be able to acquire knowledge and apply, are able to acquire knowledge and apply, on skills, then this is actually termed as what? Artificial intelligence, right? So by now, you should be getting yourself familiar with the word artificial intelligence, and you don't have to even watch somewhere to determine what exactly AI is, right? And we have something called knowledge, and all of you would say knowledge is power, right? But what exactly is knowledge, right? So we have facts, information, skills, which are acquired through experiences. And if you notice from the very beginning of my talk, I talked about how we human beings are able to make informed decisions based on experiences, right? Similarly, machines are able to, gather a lot of informations, right? And based on those informations that it gathers, it is able to make informed decisions, right? It is able, because of the experiences that it has. So when you go to Bing and you start typing, you don't even end, then you get, suggestion on what exactly you are trying to find, right? And sometimes it gives you an accurate information based on your location. So these are some of the things that AI is leveraging on to be able to understand how to process information. So you can see clearly that AI is just trying to mimic what exactly we human beings we are doing, isn't it? Um, that being said, you are good enough to define what natural intelligence is, right? Because if humans are able to acquire knowledge, and then process all this and be able to make meaningful out of, the knowledge that is being acquired, then that is natural intelligence, right? Now, there are some things that you need to note of when it comes to artificial intelligence, okay? So we have something called the Azure Cognitive Services, and this is actually part of the Microsoft AI ecosystem. And as part of the Azure Cognitive Services is where is vision, right? It's text to speech, and in this particular case on my screen is talking about a person being machines being able to identify who exactly is in a picture, right? Think about it. How exactly would a machine be able to detect who is in a picture, like me, right? A machine has never seen you before, but just because of some sort of pictures that have been gathered about you, a machine is able to determine that, okay, so this is Dawood and this is not, David, right? So it's able to differentiate. So immediately you go on Facebook and then you have, someone tag you in a picture or even share information, a picture about you. Quickly, AI is at work and it's able to detect that, okay, I think this is Dawood based on some, pictures that I've gathered about, Dawood, right? So these are some of the ways that we are using AI. Now, most of you are thinking that when we talk about AI, then there would be a time that would come, and then AI might, I mean, you are thinking of AI coming in 2030, but AI is right here. You are using them on Facebook. On your phone, you are able to use AI, and then you just take a picture, and or you now we don't lock our phones with passwords, right? You just put your face to your phone, and then it being able to determine that this is you. So it able to differentiate from you to someone. Think about some of the ways that machine will be able to do this. Maybe using someone with pointed nose, using giving details about the eye itself, right? The the eyelashes and all those things. This can help a machine to be able to make informed decision who exactly you are, because we human beings possess different characters, isn't it? Let's talk about informed decision and change how exactly our workspaces are, right? So in the chat, what exactly or how exactly would you define um, AI? In the chat, please go ahead and tell me, based on the information I've provided you, how exactly would you be able to define AI? So at the later part, you're going to have Himanshu talking about machine learning. That is why I just decided to hit on it a bit so that he can come and then do the magic for you. So what exactly is AI? Define it in your own ways, right? We are not marking exam papers here, so don't worry. We are out of school for the moment. Okay, so I'll leave that to you because I have been able to define AI for you, but it is entirely up to you to be able to define AI as well. So, what is AI's role in our society, right? How is it affecting us? How is it changing the way we behave as human beings, right? Think about the fact that you used to open your phone with passwords. Now you open your phone just by showing your face, right? Think about this slide that I just made today. How was I able to create the slide? The only way I was able, I mean, there are several ways, but I can just pick, since I'm sharing my PowerPoint presentation, I'll share my screen and probably demonstrate that to you as well. And the whole thing I'm just doing here is that I just pick a picture, put it inside, a PowerPoint slide, and then, type something on it, and then tell AI that, hello, make decision for me, right? And it's able to determine that, okay, I'll probably want this particular, it will give me a series of options to select from. So I don't even have to, spend time making presentations anymore. As long as I have my picture and I have my word that I want to put on it, it is good enough to go, isn't it? So that is how AI is shaping, our world. AI is shaping, how we process data. Businesses are able to take, past data being submitted to them, put it into AI model, and be able to make informed decision as to whether the product they are trying to produce would be useful and people would buy it or not, based on some purchases on product that has been going on, isn't it? So think about how AI is helping the business aspects, right? Think about how AI is able to take samples and be able to predict what exactly is wrong with someone, right? Think about it, right? Think about how we would have had someone to sit right, behind the desk and then be able to ask, chat, ask a particular question to the person about a company, right? Now we don't need a person to sit there. You just need to ask AI. Just ask AI. Ask your question to AI, and AI will be able to, reply you back. So these are some of the ways that AI is being able to, change the way we behave, right? Think about how AI is being placed at home and it's able to, make robotics to be able to, make smart decisions, right? They are able to, make decisions such as, picture what exactly it should take. They are able to make decisions, picture how exactly the temperature is today, right? And they don't have to use anything but just the systems which are built within them, right? To be able to make informed decisions. So AI is changing the workplaces, it's changing the health places, it's changing the business places, it is changing the way we even make, our lives, is determined for tomorrow, right? You go on bank, you make searches, and it's super cool. Now let me just show you some particular demos that I have from Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft has awesome and tons of amazing stuff that it shares. So let me just share my screen itself, and then we get our hands on some form of demo. Okay. Okay, so now cool. Thank you so much. I'm seeing all your chats. So let me just show you some samples of how AI is able to make, smart decisions. So we just go to AI demos. So just see here, right? You can visit this in your browser as well later on and then explore about AI features, right? Today, we don't have to, there are a lot of things which are just right in our hands, right? So for software developers, Microsoft has built, AI models that are able to help us to easily, integrate into our, applications, right? Just with, API calls, the get, put, post, and delete to be able to make a lot of informed decisions, right? Okay, so now check in here. Right here, we have machine learning, machine teaching. So you read the test about it. AI route planner. See how test analytics are good examples. Language understanding is a great way to understand AI. Video indexer, computer vision. Now, let me show you one particular example that you should know about. Let me open computer vision in particular. Okay, so I'm just going to click on computer vision. And when I supply this particular, page with a picture, it will try to be able to tell me what exactly is in the picture. Okay. So in this case, let me just select a picture. So let me just select one particular picture here, and you see the decisions that is going to be made by artificial intelligence. Okay. So that was smart enough. Let me hide this quickly. Awesome. Scroll down a bit. And you can see that just by putting this picture there, it tells me that this picture has, we are 100% confident that this particular picture has what? A car, right? Making 100% decision, right? Because it has seen series of cars before, right? And this is how AI is able to make intelligence, decisions. It can tell you that there is a road within this picture, right? Because it has seen a road before. The AI model is able to tell us that, okay, I also see that you have vehicles, right? It's able to see from this image. I mean, if I had asked you that, what do you see? I'm sure you would tell me that, hey, I can see a car, I can see someone standing there. This is exactly what the AI is able to do. So you can see AI is getting, smart and smarter every day. It sees street, it can see the color yellow, and it's giving you a confidence level of what it thinks, and it's telling you that this is a taxi as well, because the AI model has been trained to be able to determine what exactly a taxi is. It's telling you that there's some busy schedules going on because people are moving. This is smart, right? This is actually smart, and Microsoft is providing you all those informations for free, right? So we can actually see a lot of things that is happening by just scrolling down and then looking at what exactly this AI model is going to be telling us, right? And we have something called OCR, right? OCR is actually um, uh, an approach that you put a picture, just a clear picture, into AI model, and it's able to extract the text from that particular picture. That is what OCR is. So let me click here. Okay, so see in here, and you can see that AI is able to, P engine. This is not natural. You human beings cannot use any application to do this apart from um, we the AIs, right? So you can see it is able to extract exactly what is on the picture and say that, okay, this is still cut oats with whatever, right? So this is how AI is actually making informed decisions, right? Okay, so at this point, what I'll try to do is to also show you this, and you see. So imagine how smart you can use this for. Let's say that you have PDFs, right? And you have within your PDF invoice, right? Now you can't, you have a picture of that PDF. You can't extract that, you can't extract all the information from it. Imagine the PDF being about 10,000 or 10 million, right? How would they be able to extract this information? Using OCR, you are able to, simply put, your picture into AI model, and it's able to extract all those informations. And with Azure Cognitive Search and a lot of other tools that Microsoft provides, right? It is able to, go back and then, tell you exactly how the tables are arranged and all that, giving you smarter information, right? So this is just the computer vision. Custom vision, right? AI. Okay, let me just hit on custom vision AI, and you will notice that Microsoft has huge amount of tools just to empower you. So if you want to be able to train a model, right, to understand, what exactly, you want to train a model to be able to understand some pictures, or to be able to see or identify some particular object, you can just come in here and then log into this particular page. So I can sign in, and I can create a very quick, a demo of how exactly AI could be able to identify that, okay, something is Dawood and then the other thing is not, right? So you can actually build a lot of things at hand, just by, coming to use Microsoft custom vision tools. Okay, so right in here, if I were to do anything, you are currently signed in to student partner, you have other directories, you can switch. No, I won't switch. So that's okay. So what I can do is that I can click on project, and I will give my project a name. So I'll give it a name like AI. Um, I'll just say, who is Dawood, right? And I'll give it a description, blah, blah, blah. It's optional, and I'll just choose a model, right? Now, the thing is that I need to create a resource. So this is actually wrapped within Azure functions, right? So I'll just click in here, and I'll say create a model. Inside create a model, I can give my model a name, my resource a name. So I'll give it a name, say I identify Dawood. Okay, and I would click here, and I will see that this is, I'm using my subscription, and I would probably just select a resource group, or I can create one right in here. So this is a wrapper around, Microsoft Azure functionalities. So if you've been using Azure, these are, similar to you, very similar for what you've been doing. So I'll just say identify Dawood resources. This is actually probably not the best way to name your resources, but it's okay. I will choose my location, then I'll click on create resource group. Okay, so even if your mom joined us in this session, I'm pretty sure your mom should be able to understand AI. And that is exactly what I was supposed to do in this session, introduce people to AI, and it should be actually fun, right? So I'll just select the, okay, in this case, you will select your pricing tier. So your pricing tier will determine what exactly you get, right? Now let me see what is happening here. I'm not able to select one thing. Did I do anything wrong? Let me select West Europe and see whether what. Okay, but basically, I think I could just select a resource group instead. Let me select yeah, this resource group. Okay, so instead of creating a new one, I just selected one of my web resource group, and I'll click on create a resource, and it will quickly, whip up something for me in here, and I'll just be able to upload some sort of, images to be able to determine that, okay, to be able to train my model and say that, okay, this is Dawood, and this is, this particular person, right? So let's see how it goes. Is my application creating at all? I don't think I made. Okay. Okay. So that has been selected already. So I'll just click on create a. Yeah. So I'll also be determined. I'll be asked to select whether this is going to be classification or object detection. I'll leave it at the default because what I'm just trying to do is to give it a series of pictures and tell it that this is Dawood, just like the way you teach a little baby that okay, this is A and this is B and this is C, right? So I'll be able to select that, and depending on whether, of course, two in a picture two people can be called Dawood, right? All those things are configured right in here. So if you put your mouse over this little info icon, it tells you that, you know, what multi-label does and also multi-class does, okay? So I'll leave everything default for now. But if you are also, if you want to also, maybe you have like 50 people within a picture and then you want to be able to identify Dawood in particular, right? You want to detect, you know, the object Dawood. You can just use like object detection to be able to do that. So in this case, I'll use classification and I'll click on create a project. So the fun thing is that you don't have to be an AI expert. That is the empowerment of Microsoft. You don't have to be an AI expert to be able to, you know, bring your AI or vision into your application, right? You can simply let your application start seeing just by coming into just by using some of these, you know, services. Okay. So assuming I have a huge amount of pictures, then I will just click in here and I'll see that, okay, upload all those pictures for me, right? But I'm not too sure whether I have pictures. Let me check in here. Um, so what I will just do is to simulate a good behavior. Okay, so I'll just highlight this. These are some of events workshop that we had from sorry, MSP Inspire. So I'm uploading 8 images, right? So see in here. So what I would do is exactly what you would do to a kid, right? You train the kid that, hey, this is this particular person and this is this particular person, right? So this is how you are able to simply train your model, right? So everything is loading. Add some tags to this particular image. So what happens is that once you add an image, you will give it a tag, and once you give it a tag, this particular image would be identified. So this is just exactly how a child would have easily identified who is Dawood in the house, who is Mary in the house, who is Pallavi, who is Nandini, who is you know, Himanshu and all. This is exactly how a child will be able to determine. So you will soon begin to realize that our AI, who the model we are trying to build or the project we are trying to build, which was absolutely, you know, not intelligence, will begin to reason because we have been able to train it that, hey, this particular person is Himanshu and not Dawood, right? So I can call this Dawood, okay? I don't know. I think these images are very huge. I'm guessing so because they've taken very long time to be able to load. But basically, I'm sure you get the idea of whatever I'm trying to do in here. And yeah, so this is Dawood. Yeah, I'll just call this Dawood. So imagine I have a lot of my pictures, right? Then I'll definitely just be making the good decision. So when I'm done, I can just click on upload 8 images, and this would train my model that, okay, this particular person is actually Dawood, right? Upload 8 images. So similarly, what I will be required to do is to upload series of other images, which is different things to be able to train it to understand that, okay, within the household, this is Dawood, this is Himanshu, this is Ivy, and all that. So we are able to quickly, you know, make our app to be able to you be smarter. Now, the good thing you have to do is that you need to upload at least 30 images, all right, to make your AI to start to be smart, because you know a child needs to see a person within a house several times to be able to mention the particular person's name. And this is exactly what artificial intelligence is doing, because it is looking at the number of, you know, things that you've taught it to be able to make smart decisions. So if you are able to train the AI model on, you know, 50 Dawood images, then sorry, like 50,000 Dawood images. The next time you take a new picture of Dawood and then you upload it, right, your AI model will be able to tell you that, hey, this is actually Dawood. Okay, so now find out some interesting thing. You see, this has been given a tag, right? So I can just upload another one and then give it a name called Himanshu, and this, yeah, so it works as classification. So it is classifying, the series of images that we have by, tags, right? So this is fun. I'm sure you should begin to think that AI is really easy. And I'm telling you, yes, with Microsoft giving you all this power, AI is actually easy. So now that you've uploaded this and given it a tag, you need to now train this particular model, right? You need to tell it that, okay, this particular model is, you need to train it so that it's able to store all the information to be able to make informed decision in the future when you upload something to it, right? And this is actually what a child does, because a child goes through series of training to be able to understand that, okay, this person is Dawood, right? I'm actually shocked at how kids are able to call everyone's name in a compound, because they take critical observation to be able to analyze that, okay, this particular person is the one I'm looking for, right? So I'll just click on train. Now once you click on train, you know your model that you are trying to build, would ask you, should I make advanced search, or should I just make, a quick training for you, right? So if we take a look at, the types of training that you would be able to do. So if it is advanced training, it will be able to make, a lot of, detailed analysis for you. But let's say we are in haste, so we are using the train. So this way, we are able to train our app very smart. And it says your project can't be trained just yet. Make sure you have at least 2 tags and 5 images for every tag. But I'm sure you begin to understand what exactly I'm trying to achieve here, right? So we can upload more pictures and then give it, different tags. And to be able to upload more pictures, you just need to click on add image, and then you'll be able to add an extra picture to your application and give it a different image. So if I had, let me put this guy there. Okay. Yeah, so this is the guy. I think I'll put this guy there. And this guy, I'm going to call this guy Himanshu, right? So this is Himanshu. Okay, Himanshu, I'm sorry. Today you are me and I'm you. So I'll just click on upload, and then if I give it, more tags like of Himanshu, then I'm training my AI model to be able to understand that, okay, this particular person is different from the first person I saw, right? So if you mislead your AI will be misled. That is the whole idea, right? So you need to constantly give your AI a lot of, options to be able to determine that, okay, this particular person is Dawood and this particular person is Himanshu. So I'll just click on train, and it should be able to now, I think it might throw error again. Yes, because it's still expecting us to give it more information. So a child who is just 6 months, please don't expect the child to be able to make informed decision of her own. If a child is moving towards fire, please pull the child from the fire, because if the child get near to the fire, the child is probably going to put the hands inside, the fire, and then the fire will burn the child. So this is exactly what is happening to our AI model we are building, because we are not giving our AI model a lot of information, but we said we are training it. You are training it based on what, right? So we are making a headway. As of now, I'm sure you've begun to understand what exactly AI is, right? And the fun thing is that you can, after building this AI model, you can go into Power Apps and be able to build a Power Apps and then supply it with this particular model that you've built, and it will understand that, okay, it will be able to just, this AI model that you built would be you'll be able to build an Android app or iOS app just over here with, Power Apps. That's the fun thing, right? This is really cool, right? So if we build all those stuff, we can come here and then we find some of the models that we've built, and we'll be able to utilize, that particular model, right? But even if we don't want to use custom vision to build our AI and then train AI model and train it, we can still do all those things here. So this is a lot of power to you. You'll be able to do a lot of things on your own. I think my internet is crying.
You are on with us nowadays.
Yes, my internet, I don't know, got bad. Am I audible still?
Yes,
Are
yes,
you
go
able to
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
Yes.
So
audible.
actually, I think we've made quite tremendous progress. If this is your first time of hearing of AI, you didn't just learn introduction to AI, but you learned how to build AI models. And also with Power Apps, you are able to even do a lot of fun things on your own, right? Just come in here and you'll be able to see that, okay, I want object detection, I want predictions, I want form processing and all that. And you'll be able to do all those things, right? And Power Apps gives you all the features for you to be able to build a new application rapidly. So without much being said again, if you have any question in the chat, please go ahead and post it there. I'll be able to answer you. I know I was supposed to keep this at a very basic level in terms of introducing you to AI. And the series of examples I made was just, for me to be able to tell you that, hey, you can quickly, not just understand AI, but you can quickly get started in learning AI, right? So that is it. If you have any question in the chat, please post it and I'll be able to answer you. Look at the way I'm whipping out a quick application. After whipping this application, I'll be able to, apply my model I built into that particular application, and my application will begin to think smart, will be able to determine everyone in my household that this is Dawood. I think this is really smart, right? I'm getting a lot of cool ideas after talking about this thing. What idea are you also getting? Are we making a lot of progress? I'm quite sure we've actually made tremendous progress. So thank you very much for having me here today. I've
Sure.
probably exhausted most of my time. I know exactly 1 hour. I didn't start on time, but I know, next speaker really has to come in and then give you more ideas on how to use, how to make a lot of, trainings, the different classifications you should know, would be able to, tell you more about, data sets and all those stuff with machine learning. So, yeah, so this is AI, and I'm sure it's fun to learn and it's fun to do. You all should be able to quickly get your hands over AI. So over to you guys. Was there any question for me?
Thank you,
So
Dawud,
thanks a
for
lot for joining us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you. I'm really impressed about, what the great work you are all doing. Thank you too.
Thanks a lot. So, okay, Shagnik.
Okay, next we have with us Himanshu Beniwal joining us from Punjab. And a small intro, if I just try to give about him, is that he is obviously a Microsoft student partner and trying to explore the depths of AI and ML using Azure. So he is joining from, he is a student from Punjab, in Central University of Punjab, and pursuing his master's in computer science. So, hey, Himanshu.
Yeah. Hi
Yeah,
everyone.
Himanshu.
Sagnik, is my
Yeah,
voice
hi,
clear?
Himanshu.
Yes,
Yeah,
go
sure.
ahead.
All right. First of all, thank you guys for having me, and thank you, Davuda, for this very informative and like very useful session.
Thank you. Thank you. You are the
Davuda,
boss,
you are
man.
such an
Over to you.
inspiration.
Yeah, I and Iman should go way back. So I know. You are the boss here. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
So guys, this journey started in 2018. Like me and Davuda, this was like way long back. Yeah, right, Davuda?
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe one day we need to get on a call and tell people that this is how Humanshi
Yeah.
would tag me on Twitter and say that Dauda, what are you learning?
Right. So is my screen visible? I
Yes,
just I think we should just start with our session.
sure.
All right, so guys, hi everyone. Today we'll be having a session on applied machine learning using MS Azure. So basically, what we'll be doing is we'll be exploring the basics for machine learning and how you can build a smart machine learning model and deploy it to your deploy it as a web service. How you can you'll get to know about the basics and how you can apply the ML to real world, like how easy it is to just deploy the machine learning model to the real world without even coding. So you won't even touch like programming You will just use simply the tools which MS Azure and like ML Studio have, and this all goes. All right. So moving forward, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Himanshu Beniwal. I'm a Microsoft student partner since 2018. I'm currently pursuing my MTech in computer science from Central University of Punjab. I've been working into self-driving cars, into machine learning, computer vision, into social network analysis, deep learning. There's a lot of stuff which is like I'm currently into, and I love to explore about like Azure ML. And you guys can check my website on himashubeniwal.codes, and you can follow me on Twitter. So moving further, can you guys just let me know, like, have you ever wanted to predict the future? Like in this meme, you can see like the time traveler saying like, "What are you watching?" And I will just say like Game of Thrones, and then the time traveler say the new one or the original, and you are just fascinated like, "Oh wow, like this is really happening," and time travel already knows like whether this is the new one or the original. So have you ever wanted to predict the future? Just let me know in the chats. Just let me know in the chats. I guess there will be like always a time like when you ever wanted to predict the future, and you want to be like behave like the time traveler in this scenario. All right, so yeah, moving further. All right. So this all happens in like if we talk in the technical way, like how we can predict the future. If we are talking about prediction, we can simply say like this is all like machine is learning from some data, and then from the trained model is like giving us some predictions, right? So what is really the machine learning? This is just like where the computer learns from the data, and in order to perform the predictive analytics. So if you have ever seen like there is a credit card fraud detection, this is the way like machine learning is really going in the credit card fraud detection. And if you go for like online shopping recommendation, if you open Amazon or Flipkart, you will see like there are multiple recommendations you can see. So this is all like the computer learns from their data and then give you the predictive analysis such that like if some person is buying this product, if suppose if you are in a grocery store, all right, so if you are buying some milk, and the grocery store people will they will do is like they will place the bread like next to that. So this is like recommendations. Like most of the people who will buy milk will definitely go for like bread or something like that. All right, so you can see machine learning in self-driving cars also. And if you distribute distribute machine learning, you can see like there's supervised learning and there's unsupervised learning. There are a number of lot more, but like for the sake of this to the basics, I'll just introduce to the simple ones: supervised learning and the unsupervised learning, right? So guys, you can see just like if you talk about AI in general, right? See in the right section, you can see in this picture this is AI. So what really the AI is the machine learning. All right. So what if we talk machine learning into more simpler words? What we can see is like machine learning is totally the stats. So what you need to do is like if we go through the theoretical machine learning, if you theory like what this algorithm is, and if you talk about the low level like algorithms, you will find like this is all mathematics and stats, right? So this is really machine learning. All right. So what machine learning is almost like mostly about, machine learning is just like using your historical data to make some predictions. All right. So machine like the data is in heterogeneous form. The data is going through some process, and this model will give us some predictions, right? So this will give you some analysis report in the form of like pie chart or the histograms or like the linear curves or something. All right. So this is all about like machine learning, right? So what we got the idea for like what machine is learning, right? So mostly people are confused like how data science is correlated with machine learning. All right. So what we can say is like data science is all about like you have the data, you get some insights from the data, you from that insights you will gain like some experience. You will get some experience. So like what that data is telling you, and then based on that experience you perform some actions, right? So this is all about data science. Like you have the data, you will just visualize or analyze. You will get some the visualizations. From this visualization, you gain the insights, and from that insights, you have some experience, the previous experience, and from the previous experience you make some predictions. Like if I take about some example. All right, so I have the data for any business, for any company, and the data is all about the data is all about some for a product. It's like, and suppose I am working in a company, what I will do is like I will just analyze like when the profit is more for that product, like when the sales are high. So what I will do is like I will just push my another product, like it's some updated version or something. I'll just push that product during that time in the previous dates. Like I will just analyze like, okay, my product is like having the maximum sales at Diwali, right? So I will just push or update my product during that time and with some incentive to the price. All right, so that makes sense. Like my product will gain some more profits during that time. So this is all about like data science. And what is machine learning? Machine learning is giving you the like, it's like learning the mathematics behind all this. All right, so if you see, like if I plot some graph between the false positive and the true positive rate. All right, so what on the left side you can see like there is a graph. All right, this specifies like this is the better learning. This graph, which is the blue line, you can see this is the line like which shows like how well my machine is trained. All right, and if you see in the right section, the graph, the area under the curve between this is like huge, and like this is like this shows like my machine is well trained on this side. All right, so this is all about like data science and machine learning. Machine learning is basically the mathematics and everything. Like you train some model and you push it further, and that's machine learning. Data science is all about like the data analysis and the visualizations you gain, and from that analysis and the visualizations you get some insights. So data science can like distributed in the business intelligence, right? BI, business intelligence, and machine learning can be distributed into deep learning and further. So I will just like talk it further. So you can see machine learning in action on, if you go to this website like house-old.net. What this website will do is like, have you seen the example of Face app? I guess like I hope you ever like have tried Face app and you just import your picture over there, and that picture, what that picture will do is like that picture will change your current picture into your old picture. Like your age is increased and like your hair goes white and your like beard goes white, something like that. All right, so this is all machine learning. So if you go to this website, what this website will do, you just import your picture on, like this is your picture, you just import your picture on this website, and this website will give you the like this website will tell you like how old do you look, like what your age is. So this is all about like the machine is trained on some huge data set with all the pictures and all the ages. And after the training, once the training is done on this one, then this will tell you like what this text, like what this test image, like how, what's the age for this test person, right? So this is all about like machine learning in action. And if you go further, you can check this Akinator. I hope like you just, if you haven't tried this all yet, you can just go to Akinator. What Akinator is all about, like Akinator will ask you some questions. All right, and based on the questions like what, like whether the person like whether this will ask you some questions like some character or something. All right, so character in what sense, like whether the character is real world, whether it is anime, whether it is a cartoon or something like that. And that character, this like you have to predict some character. Suppose I pick some Pokemon or like something like that, some cartoon or some anime, or like I'll just guess that cartoon, and this Akinator, what this will do is like ask you some questions. All right, and based on the questions, this Akinator will tell you like what are you guessing, what are you predicting, right? So this is all happening like you predict some character, and this will ask you some questions like whether the character, see in the left section I'm drawing like this is the main node. All right, so suppose this is question number 1. All right, so this is question number 1. This will ask you whether your character is alive or not. All right, so if whether you're like if you're predicting something, like suppose I predict for Shinchan or something, like I hope you have seen Shinchan in like in your childhood. So this will ask you like whether your character is live or whether it is real or not. So this will like whether see if this is like cartoon, like this is not real, so this will ask you some more questions then, and based on those questions you will find some more questions, and after some like basing some like after some text and like after some questions, you will what you will find is like you will find like, okay, this is the person, like Akinator will tell you like this is the character you are predicting. So this is just like a fun way like the machine learning is behaving. All right, so you can just check it later. All right, so coming back to like some topic, uh, how like Microsoft has like grown up in machine learning. So you can just like see in 1919, the computer works on users. We have like filtering junk email, like the spam filtering, like Windows Live Hotmail that came into like picture in 1919. Then it comes with the search engine like Bing, and then it went for the like the SQL servers. Then you can find it in like the traffic prediction services in Bing Maps, and then it went to like the watching like in the Kinect, Microsoft Kinect, and you can watch the user gestures. And you in the 2012 it came into Skype, and like speech to speech translation and something like that. And in 2014 what really happened is like Microsoft like Azure got the Azure machine learning. All right, so Microsoft launches the Azure machine learning, and like this all the work behind all this like can be seen into this Azure machine learning. And like you can see in like Azure machine learning, what you will see is like you don't even have to know the programming. So suppose you are just a beginner. Suppose I am just a beginner in Python, and I don't know like data science, or I don't know machine learning or something like that. I don't know the mathematics even. So still I can launch my own company using Azure machine learning. How cool is that? Like suppose I'm just I'm just a beginner, and I don't even have to just like program or something like this. No programming is involved. So I'll just tell you all with this like how you can just like get your hands dirty with Azure Machine Learning Studio, and how easy it is, right? So moving further, like this is the quotation from one of my friend. Like he just spent his full semester writing a code for neural network, all right, in Python. So just imagine this is just a scenario. Like you just spend, suppose just like not take a full semester, just cross it out. Just like he spent some amount of period of time for writing code for neural network. Suppose he just like got into the like number of hidden units, the number of hidden layers, and he just programmed everything through scratch. All right, and I just did the same thing in just 10 minutes. Can you just imagine like how much my cost and like the time and everything is like saved with just Azure ML Studio? How cool is that? That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. All right. So like now let's come to the process, like what is really happening into machine learning. So just like get through this, like you have some raw data and you just apply some pre-processing techniques. All right, you just got some pre-processing modules, use those, you get your data cleaned, you get the prepared data, right? Then you just like and you just iterate over until your data is ready. And once your data is cleaned and like it's ready for the like it's ready for everything, you can just use your machine learning algorithms. You can just use your machine learning algorithms like KNN. So suppose I am using some machine learning algorithm KNN and some another suppose like SVM or something like that. I'm just using my machine learning algorithms, and I'll just get a trained model, a candidate model. All right, and then I'll just use this candidate model, and I'll just improve my accuracy and everything, the performance for this model. I'll just iterate over everything. I'll just iterate over everything. Once I find out like my all my training is completed, the accuracy is like maximum reach right now. So I'll just deploy that model, and I can just use that chosen model into one of my applications, right? So this is all like the how the machine do the learning process. All right. So moving further, what like let's come like back to the applied machine learning. So what is really applied? So you are just applying the ML to the real world. All right. So most of the people really ask me. So since I'm into machine learning, most of the I got like usually the text and like all the like I got all the information people asking me like questions like, sir, like I have done machine learning and I have improved the accuracy. Now what? So what now? What? Like you are done with one part, all right. So what you will do is like, why don't you like implement your ML model to the real world? So this is all like applying your the machine learning model to the real world in a more abstract way. So suppose I just want to create an app. All right, so I just want to create an app. So just like bear with me with the drawing. So this is just a screen, and this is my app, and based on some questions, like based on some inputs. Alright, these are some input sections, and this is the submit button in bottom. So what a user will do, suppose this is the user, and what this user will do, this user will pass some arguments, and this user will ask some questions. Like suppose the scenario is going with this COVID-19. The user will ask the app like these are my symptoms, and like these are the things I'm facing, and this app will predict like whether you are like vulnerable to the disease or not, or like something like that. All right, so you got the idea. So this applying your ML model to the real world is really basically the applied machine learning. And what you need to understand is like using the data concisely. So the better data you get, the better like clean data and the better insights you can get, the better accuracy of your model will be, the better performance will be. All right, and you just need to like gain expertise over like one or more problems, or like Kaggle or like other competitive challenges, and let's just see that further. All right, so now what we can see is like the theoretical ML. All right, so the theoretical ML basically focuses on the performance of the model and all the mathematics and everything. All right, so this is all about like theoretical machine learning. All right, and if you go to the applied machine learning is basically like you are just using the machine learning into your real life. You're just like choosing like which algorithm is better, and you just choose that better algorithm and you just implement it to the real world. All right, so this like focuses on the real world. All right, so moving further, like what are the challenges? All right, so this is just a meme like to just let you know people like have like Dauda said like the AI will be like in his presentation, like the Elon Musk said like the AI will take over the world in 2020 and like something like that. Or so this is all like how that things are happening. All right, so I'm not scared of a computer passing the Turing test. All right, so just see this. Just see this. Okay, this is not going. All right, so I'm just like not scared of a computer passing the Turing test. I hope like you remember the Alan Turing, the Turing test. Alan Turing gave the Turing test. The Turing test is similar, like in a simple language you can say like a computer is passing all the scenarios which is given, and all the scenarios like this is the scenario which might like the robots can take over or something like that. So I'm just not scared of a computer passing the Turing test. Turing test is amazing. So if a computer is like outperforming every scenario, and this is not the fascinating way. So I'm just terrified of the one that is like intentionally fails it. All right, so I hope you get the idea. Like if a computer is like outperforming every test, that's a great thing. But the terrifying part is like if some computer is like if it's like intentionally failing it. So I hope you get the idea. Like the intentionally failing is a terrified way. So that might like later on get some more things and get learning on its own. And so they come to the picture for the secure AI. So this is just a challenge like we might face, but this challenge is like is not coming in the like the current future we have like in 1 or 2. This might be the scenario, but this is like not going to happen anytime soon, I guess so. All right, so this is just a challenge. All right, so coming back, like Azure ML Studio, what you can do is like with the Azure ML Studio, you can just explore the ML without getting the without not having the knowledge for statistical or the mathematics. All right, so I will just like give you this brief overview about ML Studio. So this is just a visual editor, where in the right picture you can see like this is just a visual editor. You in the left section you have some modules. You have some modules in the left section, and you just like drag and drop it into the experiment in the workspace, and you just connect the other modules with one, like with one to another, and you just like no programming is involved. All right, and you have like 100 of modules. You have like a common algorithm for classification, the regression, and there are like number of algorithms you can use, like semi supervised or something like that. And you have like numerous input formats. So if you have a blog, if your data is in like heterogeneous form, all right, so you can use that everything in the Azure ML Studio. And there is like support available for Python and R. And if you're like going machine learning for the masses, if you're like you have like number of users or clients, so the Azure ML Studio is like the best part you can go. All right. So today what we are going to do is like I will show you how you can like get start with the data, and how you can just clean the data and train the model, and how you can apply that model. This is the picture. This comes into the picture like Azure ML Studio, like applied machine learning comes into the picture. Like how you can create the web service for that. So where you can look for the data, and like you have sample data sets already built on the ML Studio, and you can have like the data into numerous form like CSV or type of separated values file, and you can just like import the data into that multiple form, like you have the web URLs, and you can use the SQL databases, Hive queries, blob storage. There are like numerous sources, right? So and like for this session, we'll just use this data set, so you can like check this later on also, and I'll just give you the PPT and everything. So you can just like go to this link like bit.ly/ml_datasets, and there you can see like there are like 3 data sets which you can try for your own and everything. And so I'll just use the data set from that side. So and like mostly people tell me like how you can gain the best visuals. All right, so Azure ML Studio will help you with that thing. All right, so once you import your data, you will get to see this this visual. Once you import your data, you will be able to see this visual. All right, so you can see like the number of rows, the number of columns, the year, like these are the columns on this data set, and these are the like the statistical values. You can see the histogram for everything, and everything you can see. Like the better insights you get, the better results you will get for sure. So I'll just give you the demo to the ML Studio and how you can load the data set and visualize the data. Cool. So I'll just edit, like go to my Azure ML portal, and once you are like into this Azure ML, like into your portal, Azure portal, what you need to do is like you just need to create a resource, and I'll just create a resource, and till the resource, I'll just tell you all everything like how you can go with everything, right? So once you click on create a new resource, what you need to do is like in the search the marketplace for machine learning. Right. So you need to select the Azure ML like machine learning studio workspace. All right. So once you are into this workspace, you just need to click on create. All right. And this is like loading up. So what I will do is like I will create a resource group. This resource group, what this resource group will do is like if I'm having some credits and everything, this will keep a track of everything, like what resources I'm using. All right, so I'll just type here like I just type like ML workspace. This is just a unique name. Like if you're working on multiple projects, so you can just use your multiple like unique name for everything, right? So for the subscription, I have this one. I'll just create a new resource group. I will type as ML something unique name or something unique name. Then the location for everything, and I'll just create a resource storage plan and my standard pricing tier. And this is the web service plan tier. All right, so I'll just let you know like web services are basically the implementation for your machine learning model. All right. Okay. So I'll just for the sake of the session, I'll just use the dev test standard, and this will give me the transactions for like 1,000 transactions for 2 compute hours, and the million scaling can be done later on. And based on the requirements, you can go for the standard one, S1, S2, and if you have like the standard like high, if you need the high number of transactions, you can go for this one. So I will just use the standard, the free one, and what I will do is like I'll just select this one, and I'll just simply click on create. All right. So now what will happen is like this is validating all my requirements for this resource group, and once this is validated, my resource group will go into the deployment, right? So this is happening in the meanwhile. This might take a few minutes. This might take a few minutes because like the deployment is happening on the server I choose and the location I choose. So this will take some movement. I'll just wait for this to happen. Cool, this is happening. All right, all right. Okay. I'll give the data. So for this session, and using the building data. All right, you can find the data on the slide I gave you. On the link, you can go to the GitHub repo, and you can just use this data number. So for this, for like the high, if you are like predicting some, I hope like the housing price data, house pricing, and this that have the data for like this is the area for that house, this is the location, and this is the price. So you predict the price. This is that, but I'm just this is just having like 5 columns: the wall area, the roof area, the overall height, the glazing area, and heating load. All right. So this is all the data, and this is like the in the numeric form. In the like every column is having the numeric inputs. All right. So I'll just go. Meanwhile, the deployment is succeeded. I'll just click on go to resource, and I'll just go to the resource which is deployed right now. And this will give me the overview for the resource group I created now. So I'll just click on this one. In the additional link, you will find that there's an option for launching the machine learning studio. All right. So I'll just click on this launch machine learning studio. So what this will do is like this will launch my ML studio, right? So meanwhile, this is launching. Sorry. All right. So you just need to simply click on sign in, and what will happen is once you click on sign in, you are just automatically signed in with the same ID you are working on this one. So this is opening meanwhile, and if you come back to this data, you can see like this is the data, and this is like present in the CSV format. So what I will go and I will just like this is meanwhile loading. Right, this is working. Cool. Cool. This is opening. Okay, my ML Studio is launched. Sorry guys, like my internet is really slow at this time, and there is like some thunderstorm going in my area, so might be the internet issue. So this will load fast for you guys. And my machine learning studio is launched right now. And I'll just simply, what I will do is like, this is my, this is a page will show my number of experiments. And I'll just simply click on this, in the bottom left, you can see there's an option for click on new. All right, so I will just like go to dataset and I will import my data. All right, so which my like machine learning model should be trained on. So I'll just choose my data. So this is my data. Suppose I'm going with the building data, and you can go with the flight data or something like that. And you just like simply click on this data, and you can select a type for the new data set. So if I click on this one on this drop down, you can see like there are a number of options. Suppose you can have a zip file, and you can have a R data, and the ARFF. This is like basically for the Weka if you are using the Weka tool, and you can like SVM light, plain text, or like number of resources you can like use your data. Suppose I will just go with the CSV with the header. What this will do is like this will import my first row. First row. So if I go back to my data, first row specifies the like the column name. All right. So this will include my column names. So I'll just provide an optional description. So I'll just provide like thank you, Davuda, and MSP team for having me. So this is just optional data. I will just just click on this OK button, and what is really happening is my data is being uploading to the machine learning studio, right? Okay, this is giving the error. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So what is really happening is okay, this is being uploading right now. Okay, please verify storage account exists. Alright, so there's some issue with the storing. I'll just but meanwhile what I'll do is like I will create another resource. Like rather than go into this troubleshooting, what I will do is like I'll just create another resource for a minute, because this is not usual. Issue with the storage account. All right. So I just simply click on machine learning. Okay, machine learning, the net is really slow. Workspace. I'm just creating on, click on this one. Right, so what is really happening is like I'll just create another. Okay, I guess there was some issue with the storage. All right, I got it. Okay, so I'll just click on this one, ML workspace test, and this is showing me the good. We are good to go, and I'll just click another resource, ML resource test. Okay, this works fine. And okay, this the storage name was already existing, so this was the issue. All right, so I'll just create another account for the storage one. I'll just use ML work store test. Okay, this is working fine now. All right, so I'll just go with this one, and I'll just select the web price service plan tab again. Okay, so I just click on this one. Okay, sorry guys, like there was a storage name like that was already existing, and I choose the wrong one. So I'm just choosing the pricing tire right now. So I'll just choose the free one. I already know this one. And okay, this is showing me the standard one. Okay, standard one. Okay, please, all right. Okay, so I will choose this one. Okay, so I'll just simply click on create new. So this is now validating the game. Okay, so meanwhile this is validating and the deployment is happening. The deployment is in progress, and I'll just simply click on this one. This will give me like redirect me to the workspace page. And all right, so the deployment is in progress. Meanwhile, like if you guys have any query, you can just like meanwhile, like you have any query or something like that, you can just like put in the chat option. All right, so the deployment is in progress. I hope this is like this happens. Okay, this is succeeded. All right, so I'll just go to the resource, and okay, I'm just going to my resource page. Okay. All right, so this is up. So I'll just simply click on launch machine learning studio, and meanwhile this site is loading for me. All right, so I will simply click on my experiments. All right, so this is giving me like welcome back, Himanshu Beniwal. All right, sorry guys for the resource the storage account. All right. All right, so this is showing me like whether the tour. I will say like not now. I'll simply click on new, and I will go to the data sets, and I'll just upload my data set. All right, so I'll just simply click on upload my building data set, and I'll simply click on OK. Right. So this is uploading. My data set is being uploading right now. Okay, so this is like in the bottom bar, you can see like the data set is being uploading, right? All right, cool. So this totally depends on the internet speed. I'm really having a bad internet connection right now. So if you guys if you guys face some issue or something like that, because for the workspace, like you name you want you you can choose your subscription. This is taking like longer than usual. Because of the net. All right. Uh, I hope there's some issue with my internet connection. Sagnik, are you there?
Yes, Himanshu.
Hello. All right. So is my internet screen visible and everything is going fine?
Yes,
Because
currently your
there's
screen is visible, but your voice is coming a bit shaky. But
all right.
yes.
All right. All right. So okay. So I guess the same issue is coming. Like the internet connection is too bad for me. All right. So I'll just try again with the data set. All right, so guys, meanwhile, what you can do is like you can just go to this link. Sagnik, if you just post this
Yes,
link in
yes,
the
I'll
chat.
surely do that.
Yeah. So guys, this is just a link, and this will tell you like what you guys need to do is like you just need to go to the Azure portal, and need to create a new resource group. And once you select any like storage account and the pricing tier and all the details, you can see from this one, and you just simply need to click on create. And once you go into the deployment section, once you go into the deployment section, you just need to simply click on the launch machine learning studio, and that will launch you this one. That will help you with this one page, right? All right. So I guess. Oh, I was using the. Okay. I got it. All right. So I'll just switch it to the new one workspace I've set, the ML workspace test. So I'll just switch my machine learning studio to that one. So once I'm into this one, I hope the storage account issue is like now resolved, right? So I'll just simply click on new button, and I'll just go to the dataset option, and I will import my own. All right, all right, all right. All right, so this is once it's like done uploading. What I will do is, right, so there's some internet connection. Okay, so it's loading, still loading for me. Sorry guys for the internet connection. This is taking longer than the usual. All right, so this is uploaded right now. So I'll just simply click on data. This is so right. What you need to do is like you need to click on the new button in the bottom left. All right, then that will ask you like you need to go to the dataset option from there. So this is showing me again. So once you go to this dataset, and what you need to do is like you need to import your own dataset, and this will ask you for like which file you want to import. Cool. So I'll just choose my data set and I'll click on OK. So this is going back again. This is going back again. So once your data, once you are done with this one, what you need to do is like you need to click on the experiment again. Like click on the new button in the bottom left again. You need to create a new experiment. All right. And once you are into the experiment, okay, this is taking really long. I'll just switch to this one. Yeah. Cool. Okay. And once you click on the experiment, you will be able to see this window. All right. So I just go to this one. You will be able to see this window. All right. So this is the home page for your experiment. All right. So here you can see like there are like number of things you can see. Like on the left section, there is an option for save data set, the uploaded data sets you have, and the data format conversions. There are like number of modules, right? And so what you need to do is like what you need to do is like simply click on the save data sets, and you just need to drag it. Just need to drag and drop it to the right section in the mid section, right? So that's the part like that is needed from your side. And once you are like dragged to that part, what you need to do is you need to just like simply click on the save data sets, and you just need to drag the data sets which you have uploaded, right? And you just like once you have like drag it to the center part, you just need to click right click on the data set which you have dragged and click on explore. And then you can find the visualize the data set. And once you click on the data set, this will be available to you guys. All right. So this is the visualization for our data set. All right. So you can view like the number of rows, the number of columns, and everything. And you can just simply click on one column, and you will be able to see the statistics for that column. Go for the visualization. You can create a new histogram, and you can just like compare it with any other column or something like that. So this was all about like okay, this is still not happening. All right, so I will just go back to PPT. All right, so once you have like visualized the data, what you can do is like now we will start with cleaning the data. And all right, so what you will see is like okay. So now data almost like always requires the preparation in the cleaning process. All right. So Azure ML Studio will provide you with several modules. Like there are like number of modules you can go, and there are like number of modules you can go for, and you can just like simply just drag like the modules, like select column data set, and you just drop to the experiment, and there is like no programming involved. All right, and you can perform the cleaning the data, and you can simply clean the data with like removing the duplicate rows. All right, and what's like inside for machine learning for learning, and where the ML part pitch in. This is like there are like number of algorithms you can find on this Azure ML Studio, and you can find like the common algorithms like linear regression, the multi-class neural networks, one class SVM, and there are like number of algorithms you can choose And if you look at the simple mathematics behind, like if you look at the simple mathematics behind, like suppose like linear regression, what this is does is, uh, see, this is the like the simple regression line, and you can see like these are the data points. You can see these are the data points, and this is the regression line, if the blue one. And in the, it's like simply in the linear regression, what you see is like these are the data points, and you calculate this is the error, and you just sum it up, and you can like you take the average for everything. So this is the thing like which you go for like in the simple mathematics, and then you choose like this the equation for the line is like y is equal to mx plus c, and then you calculate the slope and the intercept, then these are the slope and the intercept, and you just like calculate these. So this is the simple mathematics. So this is just a trick, like Azure ML Studio will like sneak you through from the coding part, and then you can just like visualize it later on. And if you come into the applied machine learning based on the problems you have, like if you are like based on the, if suppose if you are here on the start page, and you just like go to the discover structure. All right. So based on the problems, like suppose I'm predicting some value. All right. So see this, I'm predicting some values like the if my data is like if I'm predicting the event counts, so I will use the Poisson regression. All right. So suppose I just need the fast training and the linear model. I'll just use the linear regression. All right. So I'll just, based on my problems, based on my application in the real world, I'll just choose the machine learning. All right. You can find this cheat sheet on this page, and you can just like use it later on. So moving further, like for the type of prediction, suppose like if you're predicting the income range you will fall into, if you're like which hockey team, if you're just classifying it, so we'll go for the classification. If you're predicting a value like someone's income or like the price of gas or like the stock prediction, then you will go with the regression. All right. And if you're finding the anomalies in the data, like if you are going for the credit card fraud detection, then you will go with the anomaly detection, right? So based on the problem, you can choose the like algorithms which you want, and you can just like simply train the model using the train the model function, and you can just like simply score the model to match, like validate your how your model is performed with your testing data, and you can just use the evaluate model to visualize the results, and then you can just like need to make the changes to the results, right? So I'll just like simply check again like whether my all right, so maybe I'll just refresh it. I'll just refresh it and see whether my net is working fine. Okay. So all right, so this is showing me my screen. I'll just simply click on sign in. Okay, this is taking again some more time. I'll just wait for this to load. Alright, so I don't want to take the tool right now. So I'll import my data again. This is not happening right now. Okay. I'm facing really bad internet connection here. All right, so I just let you know through this one. So once, if you can see on this left section, like there's a section for save dataset, right? So if you once you are done with like importing your dataset from this one, you just need to simply click on create a new, and then from the new you just need to select an experiment, and you just need to click on the blank experiment, and you will see this screen. All right. So you just need to simply click on the save dataset. There you can see your own dataset, like the building data which you have uploaded. You just need to simply click and like drag and drop it to this part. All right. So once you are done with that part, you will have this one. All right. You will have this one. And meanwhile, like you can go to the next part. You just need to type the like split data in the left section, and you just need to drag that module and drop it here. And once you are done with the dropping, you need to just simply connect with this one. All right. So once you connect with this one, what you will do is like you will be splitting the data, and Okay, I hope this works this time. This is the last try I will give. I hope this goes well. I hope this goes well. Alright, alright. And we are running out of time. Alright, so meanwhile my data is being uploading. So I just need to like simply click on split data and I will just drag that module and drop it in my workspace. Then I will take my decision for its regression. So since I know like my problem is in the regression part, I already like know from my this one the cheat sheet like I'll use. So I'll just go my cheat sheet. Alright, so my data is done. Oh cool, yeah, finally. Alright, so my data is uploaded right now. So coming back to the experiment, so I'll just simply click on experiment. I'll create a blank. So finally this is happening. Sorry guys for the like the issues. I'm really sorry for this one. I'll just rush through everything right now. So this is like I'll just rename it to suppose cool, you can use any name. And what I will do is like once my data is uploaded, I'll simply drop it here to save data set. I will choose my data set. Alright, so see, I have just dragged and dropped. And what I will do is like I will right click and the data set, I can see the visualize button. So what really is happening right now is like my data is being visualized. Alright, so my data is being visualized right now. So this what this will do is like this will give you the idea like what your data is really like the number of rows, the columns. See, as it's seen in the this one in the article you saw like this was everything. Like if I simply click on the data on the column, I can see the statistics for this one. I can use the visualizations and everything, and I can just simply use my. There are like number of options you can explore later on. So for the sake of the experiment, I'll just type split data. So I'll just simply drag and drop it here. Cool. So I'll just connect it this one. And see, once I connected it, I'll simply click on split data. This is asking me for some value inputs. All right. All right. So once this is done, this is asking me for the fraction of rows. So this specifies, suppose I change it to 0.8. So what this will do is like, this will use my 80% of the training data and rest of my 20% to the testing data. Cool. So now the left part will, what this left part is define the 80% data and 20% data. Cool. So I'll just like type here uh,
We think Himanshu ran into some network issues. So give him a minute so that he can return back. So guys, bear with us. It seems uh, he's getting some network problems. Himanshu, can you hear us or
There does seem to be a problem, but let me just tell what would be the usual job. See, after the data is collected, it's split into the machine learning, the notation, the X and Y. X for the input features, then Y for the target scores. Usually, the next step after that is on the data input features. We do feature engineering. We try to scale down the data, extract relevant features from that, or making the data appropriate so that we can feed it into our ML pipeline. After the data is ready, we just say train the model on that, and that gives us the entire work. Actually, I don't have anything prepared, so I can't exactly tell you on that. But there seems to be a problem with his internet. So what should we do, Shagnik?
so? In the meantime, you just view his blog that contains the exact information what he is going to share with you in this session. And he just told me he is having a poor network currently, a very slow network. So he's trying to reconnect, and that's the link I shared you again. Go through it. It's the same thing he's trying to say. Um, Okay, guys, so apologies for the whole network issue. So, due to really bad internet conditions, Himanshu couldn't join us now, and I just spoke to him, and he's like, uh, it's not possible for him to join in currently. So, we need to end the session here, and that's almost the whole topic he covered up. You guys can just visit his blog, and I am sure that you would get all the information he was about to share today. And here goes the link of the blog again for you. And go for this blog, read it, have any doubt, ask Himanshu directly in the blog reply section. And that's the end, guys, for today's session. And not only today's session, but the session, the whole Ignite the Spark whole set of events. And so we are ending here for our session. And now we're just sharing with you the certificate link, that the certificate link for today's session. And here this link goes. So go ahead, fill it up. And that's all, guys. Thank you for joining with us for the all last few days. And surely we'll try to arrange similar sessions soon. We'll surely arrange much more interesting sessions for you. We're glad that you liked it, and yes, that I can see from you liking this video, and we can understand how much enthusiast you are about today's session. Thank you everyone for joining us. Stay tuned for more similar sessions from us, and that's the end today for this Ignite the Spark session. Thank you everyone.